Hey, it's Bowen, and we're here watching Target Pooled, a game in the quarterfinals at Pinburgh 2011 in the A Division. Brian Bannon is our first player, and we're going to see how he plays the game. Target Pool is a game with 15 shots at the top of the game, 1 through 15, and then 15 lights at the bottom of the game, which each light up for 300 points if you can get them going at the top. You see Brian soft plunging here, and he's trying to plunge it into the 8 shot on the right because he's already claimed the 7. There's a little bit of a stronger plunge, and he does get that 8. And as the ball hits those kickers in the top half, you're going to see Brian pushing on the game a little bit to get the ball nudged up. He's trying to get the ball around the corner, so those were 2 bad shots in a row. But there it goes back up to the top, and he's trying to give it a little bit of nudge to get a little action up there. Basically using those kickers at the top as flippers to try and clear more balls. There's a great shot there, gets a 9, gets a 14, and we'll see if he can get it back up the top again. So each time he gets more balls, more of the targets at the bottom will begin to be lit for 300. So there's one target there lit, and he may aim for here. Yep, so there's a 300-point shot. Excellent shot there, and the ball goes back up the top, gets the 1. Yeah, oof, dangerous push there, and a tilt. Well, unfortunately, that's a game tilt. The game's over for Brian at 1,933. Really good 2 balls, but only 2 balls out of 5. So that tilt is probably going to cost him pretty heavily in terms of position. Here's James Fordham, our second player, and possibly because of the way that the game went for Brian, James appears to be a little reluctant to push on the machine. Because it is a game tilt, you really only get that 1 tilt. He's going to try to clear out the 6, 7, 8. If you can clear all of 6, 7, and 8, you get the 100 bumper lit at the top, and that can be a huge amount. Very nice little move there to save the ball that was close to a center drain. As you can see, and there's a 300. Nice little pickup there. James is not really nudging the machine at all. Good trap, but then just missed the shot to the outside to get back up the top. James is using a lot of techniques that one might expect from a player on a more modern machine. Touching the flipper to move it over to one side, catches, etc. To some extent, those techniques don't work as well as they would on a more modern game. And you sometimes see players losing a ball under circumstances where they probably shouldn't have. That didn't happen there. James is playing pretty well so far, but just watch for that as we go forward. Great save there, and unfortunately no reward for it, as James does effectively a slap save with these tiny 2-inch flippers. It's really tough to do that and pull it off, and then was rewarded with an immediate drain down the center. Not picking up that 8. He might have gone for the soft plunge the way Brian was playing it. There's a nice little roll back up the top with no additional balls picked up. Ew, a tough save there. James now on ball 5, and he's got to make a little over 1,900 to catch Brian, who finished in only 2 balls. So just to give you more of an impression about how well Brian played his game, that James hasn't played badly, but he still has not beaten the 2-ball score that Brian Bannon put up as player 1. Would have been nice to get that 8. He's going to need to pick up a 300 here in order to beat Brian. Puts it back up to the top, getting a few 50s, getting a few 10s. There's a 50, there's another 50. And that will just put him over the top for 2,000. So he has passed Brian Bannon to take the highest score so far. Now he's going to try to put up as big a score as he can. Usually a score in the 2,500 to 3,000 range would be good to maybe pick up a first or a second in this group. Oh, almost got a 300 there. That just didn't register somehow. He got 25.56, so definitely the top score, although it's definitely beatable. We'll see if our last 2 players go. Jorian Engelbrechtsen, the Papa 10 world champion. We'll see if he uses nudging, and he's not really nudging, but he's picking up a lot of action. Ball bouncing around a lot. He's picked up 5, 6 of the balls just on bouncing. And watch how he plays. He's primarily a flipper player. Great flipper skill there. That's worth watching again to see him just tip the ball over this. So he's got the entire left side of the board out, cleared a 300 there on his way down. But that was a good ball. He's got 9 out of the 15 balls already cleared, which means there'll be lots of opportunities for him to pick up 300s in the remaining balls in this game. So again, the objective is to pick up a lot of balls early and then pick off 300s, especially the 300s on the left and the right side of the game, because those are shots that can also lead the ball back up to the top to pick off more balls. So good shot there. He's trying to pick up more, and he's bounced it back through to pick up the 8. Now, if he can get that 7 besides, he'll have 6, 7, 8, which lights the 100 bumper. There's a proposal for 300, but instead it's a 50. He picks up a 300 on the way back down, though. And he's got 1,200 through 2 balls. Brian Bannon completed at 1,900, and James Fordham is our leader at 2,556. So Yorian right now trying to plunge the number 7. If he can get that 7, he'll have the lit up, and that should. Oh no, it doesn't. Very close there, but no save. A tough drain. So there is a situation where I think the play you would make on a 90s or 2000s machine is to try and get control of the ball. But these games are fickle. Getting control of the ball on target pool is not really all that important, believe it or not. Picks up 2 more balls, get the 11 and 12. He's got 13 of the 15 balls now. So really, it's time to shift over to try and pick up that 7. Jeez. It's time for Yorian to shift strategy to picking up some 300s. He's only got 1 more ball now, and he doesn't have enough points to even beat Brian Bannon's 2-ball score. So ball 5, the most important ball in terms of score. Even though plunging that 7 is important, far more important is for him to be hitting those 300 targets. The arrows that are lit at the bottom, the arrow to the right, that's right now, those will, of course, keep shifting as more ball. Oh, man, I thought it could have had that 7 for sure there. But it doesn't really matter as long as there's a great trap. But he's going to need to pick off some 300s. There's a nice bounce into a 300 there. A little bit of luck there doesn't hurt. And not enough to beat James, but just enough to pass by Brian Bannon. We'll see Keith Elwin as our final player. Keith, perhaps the odds-on favorite to win the tournament, given that he's won the past 3 Papa Championships. He plunges the 7 that Yorian has been trying to get the whole game. We'll see if anybody can finish 6, 7, 8. Keith needs to beat 25.56 from James Fordham to get first place, and 1,900 to get at least 3rd place out of the game. I still say the best player so far has been Brian Bannon, but he just took a really disappointing tilt there. There's the 7 again for Keith. The 6 and the 8 would be valuable, but we'll see. We'll see if he can get those. Getting some good action there. Keith doing a little less nudging than I would expect at the top of the game, but given what happened to Brian, it's plenty reasonable to just not nudge at all on this machine. But nudging makes it so much better in terms of the quality of play and the number of balls you pick up, and the action you can pick up to get that 100 bumper going. As it is, Keith only needs to get to 2,600, so it's not really going to require. He gets the number 7 a couple more times. Is that 4 times in a row, I think? Ooh. Nice little bounce out there. There's a 300 picked off. And Keith closing in on 2,000 already on ball 2. It seems likely that he'll win this game given what he's got going so far. There he is, over 2,000. He's past Brian Bannon. Nice drop catch there. 2,200. And realistically, it's hard to believe that that's a tough drain there, but it's hard to believe that he won't power through this to get the first place. Going for 6. There we go. We got 6 and 7 now. And really, he only needs 1 more 300 to win here. There's a number 11 ball. He's got 13 of the balls done. And this game could probably go... Ooh! Still, he needs only about 200 more to win this game. And 2 more balls to do it. Remember, this is an electromechanical game, so it's a 5-ball machine. You've got another ball there. There's 14 balls. So now you see the special lit on the right. And actually that special works against the player in this game because the points that it would normally award. And there we go, over 25.50. Keith's got it. He wins this game. And, well, we'll stop it right there. Thanks for watching. And we hope you enjoyed this coverage of Pinburgh 2011.